On Tuesday, February 10th, 2004, I got the worst news I had ever received in my nearly 18-year life. The inhaler prescribed to me after a bout of hay fever 5 years earlier meant that my dream of going to the Air Force Academy, becoming an Air Force officer, and eventually piloting the mighty F-16 had been shot down as brilliantly as the enemies I had daydreamed about conquering in my youth. What came next, though, was a redoubled commitment to making my dreams come true, but the way I went about meeting my goal was anything but smart. Smart goals, those that are specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time-bound, are a conventional, almost cliché way to set a path to success. I believe, however, that smart goals are dumb. Mark Murphy, author of Hard Goals, The Secret of Getting from Where You Are to Where You Want to Be, says that while having specific and measurable goals is perfectly fine, making them achievable and realistic too often impedes bold, transformative action. Instead, if you really want to accomplish great things, goals should be hard, heartfelt, animated, required, and difficult. See, the problem with making goals smart is that it often takes the emotion, the drive, and the excitement out of your pursuit. Smart goals are safe and prudent, and they neatly turn your objective into sterile numbers. The key to bold action is to set heartfelt goals that get you fired up. If you're not, you're less likely to have the motivation to see them through. Creating an emotional attachment to your goals gives you the energy to tirelessly pursue them no matter how tough it gets. So, how do you make them heartfelt? One way to start is to make them animated. Animated goals require vision. They require that you create in your mind such a tangible reality that they become easier to achieve. Martin Luther King Jr. didn't say, "I have a dream that race relations in this country will steadily improve year over year." Instead, he created a vivid picture. "I have a dream that one day on the red hills of Georgia, the sons of former slaves and the sons of former slave owners will be able to sit down together at the table of brotherhood." Humans are visual creatures, and animating your goals will help to make them heartfelt. After you've set goals that are heartfelt and animated, it will be easier to think about them as being required. Now, require is not to say that someone else tells you that you must do this or you must do that. Instead, it means that the future payoff for accomplishing your objective is worth more than the cost to get there today. They're so attractive that doing anything else than meeting them is not an option. Now, there are some hacks that you can use to do this, like limiting choices that compete with your objective, or starting out small toward your aim, effectively pushing the cost of meeting your goals into the future. I strongly encourage that you read Hard Goals by Mr. Murphy for more about this. Now, finally, hard goals are difficult. They're not so difficult that you never start, but they're difficult enough that they engage all of the talents you possess, or even gain in the process. They should be hard enough that the benefits you've visualized give you a sense of accomplishment, of pride that you've met your objective. Difficult goals make you pay attention. They make you perform at your best rather than drift through life. They make you learn, and in the process, they instill confidence. President John F. Kennedy set a difficult goal for the nation in landing a man on the moon and bringing him back alive. But the pride felt across the country from accomplishing this objective defined a generation. There are two strategies I'd like to highlight that you can use to get to your objective once you've set hard goals. The first is to build intermediate steps to get there while keeping your end state in mind. Climbers on Mount Everest are able to summit the mountain because they stop and acclimatize at predetermined points along the way. They make the next camp an intermediate objective. You can be sure, though, that during the climb, they never stop imagining the brilliant feeling of what it'll be like to stand on top of the world, but they'd never make it up if they didn't stop. Do the same thing for your goals, especially if they are more long-term. The second strategy to meeting your hard goals is to build support from others. Tell as many people as you can about your goals within reason. Do this for hard goals others will be happy to help support you in, like quitting smoking or running a marathon. The social pressure to succeed will help you reach those hard objectives. Share your vision with friends, families, and coworkers and your heartfelt desire to get there. If those people don't believe that you can meet difficult goals, find someone who does. Now back to me. Without even realizing it, on that fateful day nearly 13 years ago, I set a hard goal. More than ever, in the deepest part of my heart, I felt the desire to become an Air Force officer. Walking in my ROTC uniform under the yellow leaves at Purdue University, it was easy to visualize myself in the military. By pursuing that first year of ROTC when anyone can take the course without having to be committed, I had built a requirement to meet the goal for myself. I had already dedicated time, effort, and hardship to overcoming the medical barrier set before me. And my goal was difficult. I was told it was extremely unlikely I would ever get into the Air Force, and it eventually took the President's office to write a letter to get a waiver. I made it in, and while I didn't meet my goal of flying the F-16, I did find that I accomplished things that I wouldn't trade for the world. Goals can change, and they may not lead you to the outcome you think they will. But by setting goals that are heartfelt, animated, required, and difficult, and then relentlessly pursuing them, you will go places that SMART goals would never take you.